And we're back on Troops Trio. So pleased to be joined by Jason Loftus, the father of Owen Loftus, the newest member of the North Bay Battalion. Jason, what a great day this is for you and your family here in Kingston.
I 100% agree with that. Yeah, we are thrilled. Thank you.
I was just going to say, the last OHL draft was like this, was 25 years ago, but it really wasn't like this. I mean, you had John Tavares coming out, you had Matthew Schaefer came out. As a family, what do you think of the whole vibe tonight with the introductions and the pictures and getting to meet all the different people here tonight?
It's an unforgettable experience. Of course, I mean, as a parent, you're sitting there and your main priority is where your son is going to end up, and you want to make sure that it's, a situation that you think is going to be good for him and that he's going to enjoy and develop. But the whole production has been really impressive, and just the support, like you mentioned, from NHL players and all of that. It's really, and they did a great job, I think, with the messages from some of the previous draft picks in previous years, reminding everyone that, hey, they were young U16 players once
That's
as
right,
well,
at
right?
one time,
Yeah. Top to bottom, really impressed and really grateful for the experience.
You have invested a lot of time, and Owen very eloquently explained how Maja drove him around and all of the investment that goes in time and energy. What does this day mean to you and your family?
Yeah, it means an enormous amount. I mean, it's you just keep going day by day. Typically, when you have goals and your kids have goals and they have talents, and you want to give them everything to pursue that. And I've been inspired by my wife too. She's an extremely hardworking woman. She does a lot for the boys, and we've all done everything we can to try and give them the opportunity. So to be here today, it's like that moment where you can't help but sort of take a step back because, it's like, this doesn't happen every day, right? So you reflect on all the, getting them on the ice when they were 3 years old and all the rides to the rink and, everything that you've gone through trying to find the right path for them to develop, find the right coaches, all of that. And it's been wonderful to have my parents as well who've been a big part of that journey, and Masha's mom has been a big part of that journey as well. It takes a village to raise a hockey player, and especially a goaltender. It takes a lot, and his goalie coaches are here today too. So it's just been all around, and with his advisor as well, right top to bottom, everyone's been wonderful, and couldn't do it without the village.
You mentioned goaltender because he started as a forward,
Yeah.
then he becomes a goaltender, and he obviously one of the top goalies coming into the OHL as a first-round pick. So what was that like going through that experience where, is it like, how much more is it going to cost, or we've got to support our boy here,
Yeah.
because he has a dream and we've got to help this boy reach his dreams, and this is a big day for that.
Yeah, I think if you fully realized what was involved at the beginning, you would say that's crazy. You don't get into that, right? Like, I mean, there's a gateway to it, which is my dad was a rec league goalie, and so he always had this, passion for the position, and he'd coaxed me out of it when I was younger, say, just give it a couple years, then you can be goalie, until I forgot about it, right? He avoided, he dodged that bullet. But, with Owen, he was 8, and they got the rotation in house league, and he'd played it once, and he loved just flying all over the net. And one day he just came in the kitchen, and he just jumped into the full splits. And he's like, see, Dad, he's like, this is useless for a player. Can I get some gear? And it just worked out that the team he was going to play for as a skater that year had no goaltenders. He showed up in tryouts with, I bought a bunch of used gear. I had no idea how expensive it would get later. But when you're buying little kid gear and it's used, it's like, oh, this is not that bad. I don't know why they say it's so expensive, right? And every item you buy costs the entire amount of the original set, right? But anyway, that's how we got into it. But once he saw that this is really his position, this is what he was. I think it's such a great fit for him, and he's developed so much through it personally. We're just like, great, then we'll do everything we can to support you on this journey. Yeah.
I just wanted to say I was so impressed talking to Owen here, considering the immensity of the moment, that he was so poised.
Yeah.
I can just see what he's going to be like in a playoff game. Just probably cool as a cucumber, calm and composed. It just seems to ooze from him. And just sitting with him, I just felt like he has leadership qualities that you kind of get sucked into his orbit. And, the same way he told you, I do the splits, that's goaltending stuff, Dad. And you kind of listen to him. It makes sense. And I think
he is persuasive. Probably a few decisions we made because he was, advising us that way, right? But
right?
He's as he mentioned when he was talking, I overheard the interview there. It's like goaltending is a position that demands a lot of, of patience and self-control, and that's something that has been a big part of his development. It's not just the on-the-ice stuff, but it's the character and all of that as well that allows you to handle those situations and to view it in the right perspective. And I really think, we played him up for a couple years. He was playing with the 09s. He knows a lot of the kids that were drafted last year. He was in that loop, and putting himself into those situations that are uncomfortable, that are unfamiliar, and all of that, that's been helpful for him to learn how to take everything with the right perspective. And it's been rewarding to see that grow.
How comforting is it for your family to know that Adam Dennis was a Memorial Cup winning goaltender, and Nate McDonald went to Cornell and is a pretty brilliant mind himself and a great goaltender?
Yeah, I can say it now. Like, we were very impressed by a number of the teams that Owen spoke with, but this one was circled right at the top, and our fingers were like firmly crossed when the North Bay hit the stage there, and just to hear the Battalion call his name. There's clearly right from the beginning an appreciation for the position, an understanding of what's required to develop and to succeed in the position, and I think as a family of a goalie, that's just what you dream and wish for. Yeah.
The coming to North Bay, you haven't been to North Bay yet. I'm sure you'll be going over the next couple of weeks. The importance of getting into a nice community for your son, to know he's taken care of by the hockey team, but also his teammates, and also the Billet family, right? And I'm sure you're looking forward to that part of the journey, right? Where you go to North Bay and meet everybody and ensure that he's in a positive place.
Yeah, absolutely. And every interaction we've had so far with the organization has just given us the utmost confidence. You can tell they're doing things the right way, and I'm sure, and the people that we see around here it seems just wonderful. So we're confident in that, but we do look forward, to that visit. I've been to North Bay in the summers. Like, I grew up just north of Barrie where my folks are, and I had a friend who had a cottage up there. So beautiful in the summers. Didn't spend a lot of time in the winters up there, but looking forward to doing a lot more of that in the years to come. Yeah.
Best thing about the winters is the hockey. So
absolutely.
We'll be there for that for sure.
Yeah.
All right, and just before we let you go, why don't you tell the seventh man in North Bay what kind of a player they're getting in your son?
Yeah, I think Owen is a calm and composed goaltender who has a great deal of athleticism, but saves it for when he needs it. He tries to play a patient game and be in the right spot. But I think his biggest strength is really that he's always wanting to learn and to develop. And I think so he's looking forward to all kinds of situations. Some days it's a rough day. He'll learn and grow from that. Some days it's great. He's not going to say, hey, everything's great from here on out. He's constantly trying to get better. And I think he's going to really enjoy playing in front of an audience there that's behind it. I understand the fan base there is just fantastic. And so he's really looking forward to that. That's the one thing with minor hockey is, like, when you get those showcase games, for him it's not about being in front of the scouts. It's like, finally there's a crowd here and you can hear something when a save is made. He just loves the energy. And so really looking forward to having that energy and to being part of the community in North Bay.
And the seventh man certainly brings that to Memorial Gardens.
I just wanted to add, we in our various jobs and with the Battalion, we interview a lot of young men, and the first thing he said to us was, "What's your name?"
Yeah.
And he wanted to get the names right. So you've done a great job in raising him, and everyone's really impressed by him tonight.
Really appreciate that.
Looking forward to seeing him in North Bay. Jason, thank you so much for joining us here. Enjoy the rest of your evening and the rest of the draft. We're going to take a quick break and be back with more Troops Trio.
Thank you, guys.